Hello flower lovers and welcome back to the channel. Today we diving deep into the world of one of the most classic and beloved flowers out there, the beautiful carnation. Whether you've just received a stunning bouquet or you're thinking about growing your own, you've come to the right place. By the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to keep your carnations looking fresh, vibrant, and absolutely gorgeous for as long as possible. So, grab a cup of tea and let's get started on our carnation care journey. First things first, let's talk about cut carnations. You just got a beautiful arrangement. Now what? The initial prep is crucial. The moment you get them home, don't just plop them in any old vase. We need to give them a little TLC. Start by finding a clean vase. And I mean asterisk, really asterisk clean. Any lingering bacteria from previous flowers can drastically shorten the life of your new blooms. Wash it thoroughly with soap and warm water and rinse it well. Next, it's time to prepare the water. Fill your clean vase about 2/3 full with cool fresh water. Now, here comes the magic ingredient, flower food. Your bouquet likely came with a small packet, and you should definitely use it. This isn't just a gimmick. It's a scientifically formulated mix of sugar for energy, a biocide to keep bacteria at bay, and an acidifier to help the stems absorb water more efficiently. If you don't have a packet, you can make a simple homemade version. A common recipe is 1 quart of water, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and a few drops of household bleach. The sugar feeds the flowers and the bleach keeps the water clean. With our vase and water ready, let's turn our attention to the stems. They've probably been out of water for a bit during transport, and the ends might have dried out, making it hard for them to drink. We need to give them a fresh cut. Using a sharp knife or a pair of floral shears, please avoid regular scissors as they can crush the stems. Trim about 1 to 2 inches off the bottom of each stem. The key here is to cut them at a 45-degree angle. This increases the surface area for water absorption and prevents the stems from sitting flat on the bottom of the vase, which could block water uptake. For an extra pro tip, try cutting the stems under running water or in a bowl of water to prevent air bubbles from entering the stems and creating a blockage. Once the stems are trimmed, it's time to remove any lower leaves. Any foliage that will sit below the waterline in the vase needs to go. Why? Because submerged leaves will start to decay quickly, creating a breeding ground for bacteria that will contaminate the water, foul the smell, and ultimately shorten the life of your beautiful carnations. So gently strip off those lower leaves, leaving only the foliage that will be above the water. Now you can arrange your freshly prepped carnations in the vase. Now that your carnations are settled in their new home, where should you put them? Location is more important than you might think. Keep your vase in a cool spot, away from direct sunlight and heat sources like radiators, vents, or even the top of your TV. Heat and direct sun will cause the flowers to dehydrate and wilt much faster. Also, keep them away from ripening fruit. Fruits like apples and bananas release ethylene gas, a natural plant hormone that signals flowers to mature and, well, die. Placing your bouquet next to the fruit bowl is a surefire way to say goodbye to them prematurely. To get the absolute maximum life out of your carnations, a little daily maintenance goes a long way. The most important task is to change the water. Ideally, you should change it every day, but every other day will also make a huge difference. When you change the water, give the vase a quick rinse and add fresh flower food if you have it. While you're at it, give the stems another small trim at an angle. This reopens the vascular system of the stem, ensuring they continue to drink water efficiently. It might seem like a chore, but this simple routine can easily add several days, sometimes even a week, to the life of your flowers. Now, let's switch gears and talk about growing your own carnations. It's incredibly rewarding to see these ruffled beauties pop up in your own garden or pots. Carnations love the sun. They need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day to produce abundant blooms. So pick a sunny spot in your garden or on your balcony. When it comes to soil, carnations are not overly fussy, but they absolutely must have well-draining soil. They hate having wet feet. If their roots sit in soggy soil, they are very prone to root rot. If you're planting in the ground, Amend heavy clay soil with compost or sand to improve drainage. If you're using pots, make sure they have plenty of drainage holes and use a good quality potting mix. It's also a good idea to plant them in slightly alkaline soil, so adding a little lime to acidic soil can be beneficial. Watering your growing carnations requires a bit of balance. Water them thoroughly when you first plant them. After that, let the top inch or two of soil dry out between waterings. A good way to check is to just stick your finger into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. If it's still moist, wait another day or two. Overwatering is one of the most common mistakes, so it's always better to err on the side of being a little too dry rather than too wet. To encourage bushy growth and more flowers, a little bit of pruning and deadheading is key. Deadheading is simply the process of removing spent or faded flowers. When you see a flower starting to wilt, snip it off at the base of its little stem. This does two things. It keeps the plant looking neat and tidy, and more importantly, it redirects the plant's energy from producing seeds to producing more new flowers. You can also pinch back the tips of young plants to encourage them to branch out and become fuller and bushier. Carnations are relatively hardy, but they can sometimes face issues with pests like aphids or spider mites. If you spot any, you can often just wash them off with a strong spray of water from the hose. For more persistent problems, insecticidal soap is a great, gentle option. As for diseases, the best prevention is good air circulation. Don't plant your carnations too close together. Giving them space allows air to move freely around the leaves, which helps them stay dry and prevents fungal diseases like rust or powdery mildew. And there you have it, your complete guide to caring for carnations, both in the vase and in the garden. They truly are one of the most resilient and long-lasting flowers you can enjoy, and with just a little bit of care you can enjoy their spicy, clove-like scent and beautiful ruffled petals for a very long time. They symbolize love, fascination, and distinction, making them perfect for any occasion. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found these tips helpful and that you feel more confident in your flower care skills. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about flowers and gardening, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Do you have any of your own carnation care tips? Share them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until next time, happy flowering!